I'm going to show you how you're going to fill out your informational text features page. So the first thing that it says to do is circle the text features you find in the book. So we're going to go up here. This time, for our example, I'm going to use the story Superstorms. This may not be the story that you're on. This is just an example to help you. So let's look through the book and see if we can find any text features. I see our first text feature right here. It is bold print. It says cause and effect. I see another text feature. Right here we have a map. We also have a chart diagram or a graph. Here is the rest of our map. I see some more bold print down here at the bottom. It's bolded in black, main idea and details. And that is all the text features that I see. Now, every text is not going to have every single text feature. That's why it's important that we look through our text to see which text features are in there. So now we are going to go through these text features and decide which ones we saw in our story today. So the first thing that they want us to do is circle the text features that we found in our book. So how I'm going to do that is I'm going to go over here to Shapes. I'm going to click on the circle, and it is going to make a circle on my page. So what I'm going to do, do you see how I'm getting all these extra circles? This is a great thing to know. Up here where it says undo, I can click the undo button and it will get rid of all of my circles. So let's try that again. I'm going to click on the circle and I'm going to come over here and make my circle large enough that I can fit the text in there. Then I'm going to come up here and click this little arrow and I can go back to my circle and it's going to make these little dots all over it. These dots I can move my circle up and down or wide. I'm going to make it a little bit wider all the way around bold text because then I can move it back. So I'm going to squish it back and I'm also going to move my circle up. I really like how clean that looks. Now, maybe you don't want to do shapes. Maybe you would just rather draw. So how you're going to do that is you're going to come up here where it says drawing. You are going to pick how thick you want your stroke. So maybe I want my stroke a little bit thicker. I think I'm going to go with 4. And then I'm going to choose my color. I'm going to go with pink this time. And I'm going to look over here and find my next text feature. So in our text, I also saw a map. So I'm going to circle map. I'm going to come back over here, choose a new color. Let's go with turquoise this time. And I saw a chart in our story. Let's pick a new color. Let's go with purple this time. And I'm going to circle diagram. And then I also saw one more. Do you know what it is? Let's go with, I don't like these colors. I'm going to actually choose a different color. Let's go with more colors. Let's choose this color right here. And I saw a graph. Oh, it didn't change my color. Let's go back to undo. It's probably because I didn't click it in here. That's what I did wrong. So I'm going to click right there. And I'm going to come back over here and go around graph. Now I have found all of my text features that I saw in our story. Did you get it right? Did you guess the right one? All right, let's go down to the bottom of our page. So now it says choose 2 text features from above. Tell how the text features help you understand more about the text. So we're going to come back up here to our arrow. And then I'm going to enter a text box. So this is really simple. I just click over here on the side and then I can drag it and make my text box bigger. Excuse me. So let's look up here, and I'm going to choose one of these. So I'm going to go with map right here. So we're going to type the word map. Ooh, look at that fun color. I can also make this word a little bit bigger right here with the 18. Maybe I want to change it to 24. Maybe I want to change the color, but I actually like the color green, so I'm just going to leave it. And I can also move this word over like this with the text box. So I'm going to move it right there. All right, now we're going to add another text box right here. And we are going to write what the purpose was of the map. So how I'm going to figure this out is I need to go back into the text. So we're going to come back up here to our text, and we're going to dive into our text. Let's go back to where it says map. Oh, there's my map. And right here it says that these colors represent the number of tornadoes in the United States. So we're going to come back down here. Now we know what the purpose of it was. So I'm going to drag this out. I'm going to make my text box smaller. Oops, let's go with 12. And I'm going to write, it represented the number of tornadoes in the United States. Period. And let's make that a little bit larger. Let's come back over here. Whoops, and change it to 18. Perfect. And I like it in green. Now, I'm not going to do the next text feature for you. I think you have the idea of how you're supposed to do this. All you do is you choose another one of these that you've circled, and you're going to do one more. You need to do 2 text features. You don't have to do all 4. So let's move on to the bottom of our page. This next part is about text features as well. They want us to search through our book to see which text features it includes, and we need to record our findings on the chart below. So let's look at our text features that it wants us to find. So it says that we need to find the table of contents, heading, bold words, photograph, caption, glossary. So let's look back in our book and see if we can find some of these. So the first one we're looking for is table of contents. Now, I know that this is a large book and we are already on lesson 8. So up here, I'm going to type in our page. Let's start with page 1. You're going to hit enter. Here's our title page. Flip it and look, there is our table of contents. It shows all of the units in our book and the different stories that are in each of those units. So I'm going to go back to page 2 right there, and that is the beginning of our table of contents. So let's come back down here. Text feature, is it in your book? Yes. So I'm going to come back over here to shapes. I'm going to pick the circle. And I'm going to put it on there. And remember to go up here to the arrow. And then move it over. And there it is. Now I'm going to write the page number in here. So I'm going to come back to select with the arrow again. And then I'm going to go to text box. Oops. Put it right here. Stretch it out. And we know that our table of contents starts on page 2. So I'm just going to put a 2 in there. Now I want to make that a little bit bigger. I want to change the color. Let's go with this pretty purple right here. Hit save. And now my number is that pretty purple color, and I can move it where I want it on my page. All right. Now I'm going to add another text box. I need to stretch it over so it fits. and I'm going to start typing, but I have to first look at my table of contents to know what one of the section titles is. So let's look up here, and I think we're just going to pick Henry and Mudge. That's the first story that we read, and that's a great one to go with. So we're going to write Henry and Mudge down here in the section title. Whoa, you can see that that is way too big. Let's highlight that. Come back up here, click text box, and there's our size. We're just going to adjust it. There we go, much better. And I'm going to change the color so it stands out. There we go, perfect. All right, now we're going to move on to our next text feature. Excuse me. So we are going to talk about headings. I did not see any headings in our story this time. So you would put a no right there, and you don't have to fill out the rest. Bold words. We saw lots of bold words in our text this time. So you would need to say yes, the pages that you saw it on, and then list only one. Photographs. We saw lots of neat photographs. I saw a really neat one about hail. It showed the large size of some that had fallen. So we would say yes here, the page, and then what does the photograph show? Captions. I did not see any captions this time, so you're going to say no right there. And then the glossary. Every single time you are going to put yes for the glossary. So let's do that right now. So I'm going to go back. Let's do a drawing this time. I'm going to choose pink. And I'm just going to circle yes. Ooh, I like that it's still thick. Now, I'm going to show you where the glossary is. So let's come up here. In here, I am going to put G1. And it's going to take me to the glossary. In your book, at the very back is where the glossary is. So you can see the word right here. So we're going to come back down here, and we are going to type in G1. Whoops, G1. We want to make that a little bit larger. And I'm going to move it up a little bit. Then what it says is it says list one of the words in the glossary and what it means. So I'm going to put another text box in, drag it over, and we're going to come up here and pick a word out of the glossary. So I'm going to look through some of the words and choose the one that I want to do today. Oh, I think I'm going to go with this one right here. It says chew, to grind or crush with teeth. So we're going to come down here. You get to choose any word that you want out of the glossary. So I'm going to write chew. Let's make it smaller so it fits. Didn't make it smaller. There, that's better. And I'm going to come back up here and make sure to grind or crush with teeth. When you have finished putting in the last part, you are all done with your assignment today. Great job. And the last thing you're going to do is you're going to click this button right here that says submit.